Good morning, dear students. Today I'm back with my chapter, the Indian Constitution, and in this chapter, we have already discussed fundamental rights, which were six in number. Now I'm going to just talk about fundamental duties, and these duties are given in part 4th of Indian Constitution. So let's discuss first of all meaning of fundamental duties. See, what are fundamental duties? Fundamental duties are defined as the moral obligations of all citizens to help promote a spirit of patriotism and to uphold the unity of India. Now, what do you mean by obligation here? Obligation means when someone is legally bound to do something. So, these duties set in part 4th of the Constitution, which we are going to discuss and which we will discuss later in this video, they are held by the Supreme Court to be obligatory for all citizens. Or you can say these duties are mandatory for each and everyone. Now we'll talk about fundamental duties, and there are some basic concepts regarding these fundamental duties. Yes, first of all, I would like to tell you that every citizen has a right. In the same way, it is the responsibility of person to recognize fundamental duties, which is given in part 4th A, which is given in part 4th A. It is not distinct number like 5, 6, 7. That's why it is added later in Indian Constitution. When Constitution was prepared in 1950, then there was no fundamental duties in Constitution. Actually, Article 51A, in which all fundamental duties are included, and before this, till Article 51, Directive Principles of State Policy DPSP existed, and originally there was no fundamental duty in the Constitution of India. But it was added in 42nd Amendment Act 1976. Under this, there were so many amendments. That's why it is also called mini constitution. It is also called mini constitution, and it is inspired from Constitution of USSR, now which is called Russia. If you ask yourself, or here one question arises, that on which committee's recommendation fundamental duties were given in Constitution? So it was Swarn Singh Committee who recommended fundamental duties in our Constitution. And actually in 51A, Article 51A, or 42nd Amendment 1976, there were 10 duties, and later on with another amendment, that was 86th Amendment 2002, 11th duty was included in our Constitution. So with that, we were having, or now we are having, total 11 fundamental duties in our Constitution. So let's discuss about fundamental duties. Here we are having 11 fundamental duties. So let's read these one by one. Yes, the first fundamental duty is to abide by the Constitution and respect its ideals and institutions and the national flag and the national anthem. So let's discuss what is there. Actually, here what we want to say, that we have to follow the Constitution and respect the ideals of our constitution like secularism, socialism, liberalism, sovereignty, national flag, and national anthem. In the same way, we have another one, to cherish and follow noble ideals which inspired our national struggle for freedom. Here, what we want to say from this duty, that we should respect the freedom fighters and their ideals. Now, the next duty is to uphold and protect the sovereignty, unity, and integrity of India. It means sovereignty means to take our own decisions and not to depend on other countries, so that it's our duty to protect the integrity and sovereignty of our country. Now, the next duty is to defend the country and render national service when called upon to do so. Here what we want to say, that we should ready to protect our country from any attack by other country, and we should ready to fight for the country if someone calls for us for this. Another is to promote harmony and the spirit of common brotherhood among all people of India, transcending religious, linguistic, regional, or sectional diversities, to renounce practices derogatory to the dignity of women. So, here, according to this duty, we should defend our country or keep the peace and spirit of brotherhood among all people, and also protect our women from any kind of violence. Now, the next one is sixth duty is to value and preserve the rich heritage of our composite culture. Composite culture means mixture of culture, and it means we should value and preserve our culture. Next is seventh duty, and that is to protect and improve the natural environment including forests, lakes, rivers, and wildlife, and to have compassion for living creatures. See, seventh duty, what we mean by the seventh duty, that we should protect our natural environment, or you can say we should protect our fauna and flora, living organism, and should not show you can say we should not show a cruelty or cruel behavior towards these all natural environment. So next duty is to develop scientific temper, humanism, and the spirit of inquiry and reform. So what does it means? In eighth duty, what we want to say, that we should remove social evils and go ahead with scientific temper and should bring changes in the country. Now, ninth duty is to safeguard public property and to observe violence. What does it mean? It means that we should take care of public property, and while protesting we should also consider all these public property and should adopt path of non-violence. Now, the next duty, that is the 10th duty, is to strive towards excellence in all spheres of individual and collective activity, so that the nation constantly rises to higher levels of endeavor and achievement. So here what we want to say, that whatever work we are doing and whatever profession we are adopting, we should try to get excellence in that, and we will have to enhance our you can say enhance or encourage our country, and will reach to, in this way nation will reach to high standard. So now we will talk about the 11th duty, and that duty is, who is a parent or guardian to provide opportunities for education to his child, or as the case may be, ward between the age of 6 and 14. Here 11 duty, that just assures you that every citizen who is a parent or guardian must provide opportunities for education for his child or ward, that between the age of 6 and 14, and it was added by 86th Amendment 2002 that we have already discussed. So let's move further, and now I'm just going to tell you some tricks that how you can remember these duties very easily. See, first of all, you have to recognize, or you have to take into consideration DPSP. DPSP means, you can say, DPSP means it is your directive. It is your you can say directive, principle to state policy. So here what we can say that through this we can bring some you can say bring some tricks to remember these duties. And the first is DPSP. DPSP means, D means develop the scientific temper. The next is P. With P we can say that protect the sovereignty, unity and integrity of the country. Then the next is S. S means safeguard. It means safeguard the public property. And then P. P here is promote harmony and spirit of brotherhood. Now the next is DPRP. Here D means defend the country. Then P means preserve the heritage of our composite culture. Then R the respect the ideals, national flag, national anthem. Then P is protect the natural environment like river, lakes and wildlife, etc. Then OEF. What does it mean? O means opportunity for education for his child or ward between age of 6 and 14. Then E means excellence should be in all spheres of individuals, means individual or any individual should have excellence in all the spheres. Then F means follow the noble ideals of freedom fighters. So in this way you can remember these duties very easily. So I hope that you have understood the concept of fundamental duties very clearly, and in next video I'm going to explain you about the efforts made for the marginalized communities to realize their rights and efforts made by government. So till then, bye.